It's been almost 3 months since I last posted. That's because I reached a point where I just lost motivation. I became so focused on the views and likes based on a predetermined goal that it no longer became fun anymore. During quarantine, this channel was created to just have fun posting about things I liked. And now, it's time to return to that. Since it came out, I've always been a huge fan of LEGO Ninjago. During the first 2 seasons, they released spinners for their characters, representing a fighting style in the show. Today, I'm going to make their product just a bit better. The original spinner allowed someone to place a minifigure in the center, spin them with their hands, and battle an opponent until the figure fell off. This mechanism works by having the part that holds the figure be allowed to rotate. At certain points in the rotation, the component will lift up and launch the character out of the spinner. When spinning against an opponent, the weapons placed in the minifigure's hands will hit the other until one is thrown off its spinner. I based this idea heavily off how Beyblades work, so I needed a ripcord. This piece would provide the spinning force of the launcher I would build, and it came from an unlikely place, LEGO Chima. I made 2 different launchers using my final design. Fitting with the ninja of the show, I made one for Kai and one for Cole. The mechanics are connected on a LEGO axle, starting with a pair of minifigure pants. These, placed on the spinner, would allow the top to be released at a certain point once it was spun. The other core piece was a 2x2 circular column, which to my knowledge first came in LEGO Atlantis sets. This part fit the teeth of the Chima ripcord, making it so the spinner could be wound up and released with the energy exerted by the user. The same mechanism is repeated on Kai's Ripper, with the only difference being the color scheme. Cole had a black, gray, and light gray stone aesthetic, while Kai's consisted of a red and orange base with translucent red fiery details. Beyblades also had a variety of tips that made the spinners act in different ways. I ended up with 3 that worked. First was the standard bottom, a 2x2 flat rounded piece that was used by LEGO themselves. The second was the ball portion of a LEGO Mixels joint that provided the spinner with just a bit more height with less stability, as well as much more sporadic movement than the original. Finally, there was a 3-rodded joint that had a rounded center. At first, I had the tip spinning on one of these rods, but the spherical portion connecting the 3 rods was much better at that job, though it was still worse than the other 2. To use the launcher, you simply have to attach the spinner to the center at its lowest point, place it level and firmly on a hard surface, insert the ripcord, and pull back to release. Overall, I believe the Ripper heavily improves on LEGO Ninjago spinners. While it does lose the characters themselves, they can still be represented through the Ripper's design and the spinner itself. Some parts used are harder to come by, like the Chima ripcord, but if these are in your collection, it is easy to use and simple to reset for another spinner. For all the gimmicks LEGO has put out with later seasons of the show, there's been nothing that truly succeeds or surpasses the spinners from the first 2 lines. And even so, improvements can still be made that elevate the entertainment value of these toys. But that's all I have for now. After being gone, it's good to be back. I'm just here to make videos again. Whoever watches it, watches it. Well, of course, I want people to see what I post. That's not the goal. It's fun. And with this video, I was able to talk about something I made. So mission accomplished. Now about the video itself, if anyone wants a building tutorial, just comment down below, though it's pretty simple. I am excited for Ninjago Season 16, but I do have some catching up to do before I can watch it. This is the most hype I've seen around it in a long time, so hopefully it's good. And with that being said, like and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Thank you.